What's up, YouTube? I want to do a quick review of this Centerpoint 430 Wrath compound bow. Let's go over some specifications first on this particular bow. So at its longest point from front to back, it's going to be 32 inches. It's going to be 19 inches at its widest point on the width. And when you cock it, it's going to be approximately 14 inches. Its weight with the arrow quiver attached, this thing here with 3 arrows, it's going to be 9.68 pounds, and without it, it's 9.08 pounds. When I shot this thing through the chronograph, I got an average speed of 410 feet per second. The noise was averaging 100 decibels. All right, that's pretty much the specifications of it. Now I'll just talk about my opinions on this particular bow. It's definitely nice and compact. I have another traditional crossbow and an Excalibur, and this is supposed to be a bullpup design. My Excalibur crossbow that is not bullpup, from front to back at its longest point, is only 1 inch longer than this one. So I guess the bullpup's cool, but you know, I thought there would be a little bit more difference in the dimensions, but it's not. Some things I like about this bow is it is definitely a little bit more compact side to side. It's pretty fast. It shoots pretty good. Definitely very accurate. I don't think that this is the best quality optic you could have. It's far from it. It's okay, but it's not the best. I definitely want to upgrade that. A few of the negative things about this bow, it is definitely front end heavy. So when you're shouldering it, you will notice it's heavy in the front without a doubt. Something else is a little bit, it's not a big deal, but it's still kind of aggravating. When you go to lock the quiver in, here, when you lock it in, if I can get it in the slot, there we go. I'll take it back out so you can see that there is a lever here that you have to flip. And if you can see, this is mounted, you know, I guess I could, even if I moved it forward, it may get it out, but I put it all the way back here. But the lever, ever so slightly, hits the bottom of the limb. Not a big deal, but I guess I could simply move it out. But I was trying to keep my the end of my arrow quiver from sticking too far out and being in conflict with this. So that's one little thing about it. To me, the quiver overall is acceptable, but it's a little bit awkward getting your arrows in, especially. You cannot just pop them down in there. You have to actually slide them all the way in. When you start trying to push them down, these the openings collapse on you, and I mean you just can't get them down in there. So the quiver needs a little bit of help, in my opinion, but it's still okay. For the price point of this bullpup bow that shoots pretty fast, you know, it's okay. If I was buying a Raven R26 and R29 and paying that kind of money for it, and my quiver was of that quality, yeah, it'd be a little bit different, but it's not. So it's less expensive and not a big deal. I am 5'9", and when I shoulder this crossbow, you have to kind of really get your neck in a little bit of a scrunch down position to make it work here between the optic and you. And the reason I'm saying that is if you were, say, I don't know, starting to get above 5'9", you know, 5'10", maybe 5'11", but if you're 6 feet taller and you have longer arms and just a longer general statute, this crossbow would probably become a little bit aggravating to try to shoulder and try to scrunch your neck down and get in alignment here. It's, like I said, it's not bad for me, but you still have to do a little bit of maneuvering. And so when you're in the woods and you see something and you're ready to, you know, pull the crossbow to your shoulder and sight down it, you know, it's not a perfect, you know, raise it up, shoulder it, and a perfect sight alignment and sight picture. At least not for me. You have to move it around a little bit. Other than that, man, the crossbow's cool. I would still recommend it at its price point. I want to say right now, I bought an entire kit. So I got the quiver, 3 arrows, 3 field points, the scope with the mounts, the bow, obviously, and I bought it off of a website. I can't remember the name of the website right now, but if you look on eBay, they sit at about $650 or $699, somewhere in that range. This website had them at about, I think they were $5.99, and that was free shipping. So I got about a $50, $7,500, depending on what you're comparing it to, but somewhere in that range. So I got a pretty good deal on this particular bow. It does shoot really accurate. I've shot it out to 50 and 60 yards. This scope internally has the gradation dots for the different ranges, but there's no yardage marker beside those dots. So you have to set it up, know what it is, and know how you've got it set up and know what you're doing. Not a tremendously big deal, but this is just definitely, in my opinion, a low-end scope, which if you're looking for scopes in general, the crossbow scope thing's kind of weird right now because you've got a bunch of low-end cheap scopes, and then you see a few that are okay, and then you get to your really, really high-end ones like the Garmin and the Burris that are, you know, $800,000, $900,000 because they have built-in rangefinder. So I wish there would be a nice sweet spot where you could find the quality optic for, say, $200 to $400, and you get a really good quality optic. Maybe they're out there. If you know of one, please let me know so I can, because I've searched and I've just had trouble finding one. I definitely want to replace this, and I think anybody who wants to recognize the performance of what this crossbow could do, because you should easily be able to shoot this thing out 60, I would even think 70 yards and further, this is probably not going to be the scope you want to do it with. When you're looking through the scope, partially because of the short stock here and the alignment issue, but when you're looking through it, it's one of those scopes that just because it's cheap, having the proper eye relief is critical, because if it's off a little bit, then you get a blurry picture. Anyway, this thing overall is pretty cool, and I would recommend it still at its price point, even though it's got a few little aggravating things about it. Still a good bow, and if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you want to get a bullpup design, especially when you get the bullpup, you've got the longer power stroke, which helps get that arrow out, get it going a little bit faster, and you don't want to spend the big bucks. This is kind of a happy medium here, so you got a few little sacrifices with a couple of things, but you're still getting a nice crossbow that's got good speed and a compact package. Pretty cool. I would highly recommend it. Give it a shot. I think you'll like it. Thank you.